Okay, 14.3 mobility prep. We're going to do a couple of things. We're going to work on the hips a little bit, a couple of different ways to get ready for the deadlift. We're going to do a little piece on the shoulder just to get that shoulder set back for the good position on the setup. And then we're going to go ahead and tackle the ankle just briefly in case you do those rebounding box jumps and you're feeling a little stiff, maybe from the previous weeks. So, step number one, deadlift. We're going to work on kind of relative flexion of the hip. I'm going to bring the band just above the knee, behind, put some tension on the band. We're just going to put the hands on the hips and do essentially deadlifts, so good mornings. Pushing the butt back, coming all the way back. 10, 15 reps, both sides. Once you've done that, you're going to jump inside the band. You're going to have the band pull you backwards this time. You're going to do the same thing. Okay, 10, 15 reps again. Make sure you hit both sides. After each mob separately, go ahead and do some deadlift. Maybe with the light load, just see how that feels. Integrate that range of motion into what you're doing. Now, if you're really stiff on your hips and it's a struggle for you to get to a good setup and you tend to round your back, apart from the tips of narrower grip and a little bit wider feet, you can work on the capsule on the hip. Okay, this is not something I would do immediately before I deadlift necessarily. This might be at home before, the day before, start prepping this. I'm going to do my right side. I'm going to be on all fours. The knee is underneath my hip. I'm going to put the opposite leg straight. Push my butt a little bit to the side, but the knee still stays underneath the hip relatively. Little rotation, either external or internal, is going to be fine in here. Block that foot in place with my knee. Bring the opposite forearm on the ground and then just push my butt backwards. Just kind of loosening off that hip capsule. If you're feeling really stiff, this can make the difference between the position with the flat back and the rounded back. So it's a good idea. Now, from there, if you're going to go after a rebounding box jump and you're feeling a little stiff, just a simple little opener for the ankle. I'm going to put the foot up. You're going to push your hip towards the rib. If you're like this, nothing else is going to happen. You want to wind that foot up. So hips forward and backwards, hip side to side with the hip being forward, and then hip forward with the rotation. It's going to be nice little 3D mob, so to speak, to get that calf firing off. Finally, for the shoulder, we're just going to set up a band. You've seen this so many times. It's becoming a classic. Set the band, have the band pull your shoulder forward. Just get into your deadlift setup. You could even have that bar in here and do a couple of reps. Just go forward, backwards. Just really try to keep the shoulder in a good position. Or you could just come here, pull that shoulder back, pull the elbow back, go forwards and backwards. 10, 15 reps. You're going to feel a difference. When you set the shoulder backwards, it's going to be much easier to get that tight upper back so you don't start to round off too early. Just a few simple ideas should get you guys started. Good luck.